Hey guys, welcome to the shop. That is a wood slicer blade and I think it's torched. I'm going to try to sharpen it using a method that I saw on the internet, so that's how you know it's going to work, right? Let me show you what I got. This is from a project I did on the lathe. I did not have a really odd size tap, so that is single point turned. It's a big lathe and it will fit this Dremel. Unfortunately, this is a very long blade, so this is going to take a while. All right, I'm all set up here. I think what I'm going to do is get close to where I need to go and then bump it up and then advance it and then bump it up and do that. That's probably how I'm going to go about doing it. I made a spot here to mark where I started. I'm going to go ahead and give this a try. This took a while and on occasion inattentiveness got the best of me. I rounded over 3, maybe 4 teeth, but that's okay. I just ground them a little bit shorter. Ultimately, a few short teeth are not going to affect the quality of the cut. And also, the blade being 162 inches long means there are almost 600 teeth, meaning that I am still well clear of 99% effectiveness. Okay, now that I've been doing this for the whole thing except for the last few teeth, I'm just going to go through it at real speed and you can see how this goes after some practice. The bandsaw blade is called a wood slicer and it is available from highlandwoodworking.com. I really like this blade and that's why I'm trying to sharpen it. I'm also always looking for a reason to buy more tools. And what better reason than to save money by buying a tool? Just saying. So that's pretty cool. You can see how when the bit hits that it's turning like this, so it actually pulls the blade into it. So you'll notice that I touch and then it pulls the blade in and then it releases a little tension, so you can see a little bit of spring back, and then I come out. Yeah, it just kind of goes in, pulls it down and out, just like that. Now we'll see what kind of hook I got and run a test board. And we'll find out if this little experiment is worth it or if I should just spend 50 bucks and get a new blade. Well, son of a gun. I honestly didn't think that was going to work, but let's take a look at it. Here's the first one with the dull blade, and you can see very clearly there's some burn marks. It wasn't the straightest cut either. And then here is with the sharpened blade. And again, you can see it's not silky smooth, but that is straighter. There was a lot less pressure too to push it through. I probably used about half, maybe a quarter of the pressure to push it through the blade, and it just kind of grabbed it and pulled it right through. Whereas the first one that burned, I had to push pretty hard, and you can see that reflected by all the burning. There was a lot of friction. I am really surprised that actually worked. But yeah, there is no burning. Wow. Okay, I guess you can believe some of the things you see on the internet. I'm just going to set up to do a proper test cut, and to do that I have a handy little jig that I made a few years ago. Blade has no tension. We're going to take a dial gauge and put it at 0. All right, and then I will apply some pressure, and you'll watch as that moves. And we're right. Okay, very good. And relax. And then we'll do it again. And you can see we're right at 10 thousandths of an inch, which is 20,000 psi. So that is exactly what this blade is tensioned to. Now, granted, there could be a little bit of error, but that's pretty precise. This is a pretty neat jig. If anyone's interested in how to make this, yeah, leave a comment. When I first got this blade and it was brand new, I took this as a test cut. And now after resharpening it, I did a second test cut right here. So now we can see them side by side. Now looking at them, they're nice and uniform. And I would have a hard time telling them apart. And you can see the first one, you can actually see a few little wavy lines. Same thing here. After sharpening, it is as good as it was from the factory, which is really impressive because I thought this might work. I did not think it would work this well though. When looking at saw blades, something that will cause that burning that we saw earlier is when they get dulled. Now the blade will get dulled on this corner right here. So if this is the blade, it's making a kerf. So if there's wood over here and wood over here, there's an air gap between the blade and the wood. That's the kerf because it's cutting a little bit wider than the thickness of the steel. Now when it gets dull, this will round over right here on these edges. When it rounds over on these edges, the kerf is going to get a little bit smaller and you're going to get more rubbing right here. That rubbing will cause the burning that you see when you stop moving the blade because now it's kind of a dulled surface instead of a sharp edge. So that's where burning comes from. Also, the kerf will get thinner. Now the cut might be a little bit smoother because of that rounding, but you're going to get some problems. This kerf does some important things. One, it prevents burning because the metal is not rubbing. And then the second thing that it does is that it allows the blade to correct. When you have a sharp corner right here making the kerf, you can tip the blade a little bit one way or the other and correct your path. Now that correction allows you to cut straight. If the blade meets resistance from a dull edge, it will wander left and right. If it tries to wander and that's sharp, it will just cut back into the wood and correct itself and go back to straight. That is why a dull blade will not cut straight, and you will also get more burning from a dull blade. There's a lot of burning, but this is overall pretty smooth. Where on the sharp blade, you can see there's a lot more ridges, so you can kind of hear it too. All right, well, hope you enjoyed that short little video. It's really nothing special, but just kind of saw something and I thought I'd try it, and dang if it worked. All right, guys, thank you for watching and checking it out. I will see you next time.